All right, this cat, Brian Johnson, he's a 45-year-old billionaire that spends $2 million a year to reverse the aging process, supposedly. So is it working? Let's take a look at what he's doing and seeing how it's working out, I guess. I'm Dr. Shawn Baker. So Brian Johnson is obsessed with restoring his youth, so much so that his routine is pretty overwhelming. Interesting, his name is interesting. Brian Johnson is also the name of the Liver King. It's also the name of the lead singer for AC/DC, and also there's a cop I know in Albuquerque, New Mexico called Brian Johnson, so it's a very common name. But this particular Brian Johnson has a fetish with living forever, or he's going to live to 200 or something along those lines. Now, he has created a program which he calls the Blueprint, where he shares his information from his regimen to the results that he's getting. Now, he is also very eccentric in a number of different ways. It's a nice French braid, by the way.
We've designed a protocol for sleep and exercise and diet, and also 111 supplements.
So yeah, this guy thinks that taking 111 supplements per day is the way to be healthy. Now, he is describing his Blueprint protocol, which determines what he takes and what he eats.
Blueprint is agnostic, and so Blueprint says nothing about plants or meat. It's simply a process to say, we can look at evidence, we can design a protocol, we can look at data. And so I am a vegan by choice, not by necessity. So if somebody can achieve this without supplements, wonderful. This is not a situation where Blueprint is pro supplements as the only way of doing things. It's a way of doing things.
Now, that really doesn't sound as bad other than his choice of deciding to be a vegan. Now, what he's saying is that he chose to be vegan not because of the Blueprint optimization program, but for some other reason. I suppose maybe he thought it's ethical or something like that. So in reality, what he's showing us is that in order to fill the holes made by a vegan diet, he's having to take 111 pills per day, which is a little excessive, as most of us would agree. Now, he believes that he has identified what our focus on life should be.
In the 21st century, the only objective we have is don't die.
Now, don't die is okay on one level, but what about just living and enjoying life, having fun? I mean, there's something to that. Now, he does have a fairly comprehensive exercise routine, which I think is generally, for the most part, pretty good advice. He's been taking plasma transfusions from his son, which does seem a little kind of creepy, but that's something that he apparently has recently stopped doing it because it didn't help. I'm not surprised by that. Now, he also used to drink 3 ounces of alcohol in the morning with his breakfast every day. What the hell are you doing that for? But I guess apparently he has now recently discontinued that as well, because he claimed that by drinking alcohol in the morning it wouldn't interfere with his sleep. He stops eating every day apparently at 11 a.m., so eats very early and goes to bed at 8:30 every night and considers sleep the most important thing. People's impression of his supposed age regression are about what you'd expect. Really, other than being, relatively lean and somewhat muscular for a vegan, he pretty much looks his age in a lot of ways, and is also very pale, so I don't know how much sunlight he actually sees. Now, and certainly there are simpler ways to use some of the strategies he's employing. He takes a drug called rapamycin, which is supposed to inhibit cell signaling pathways to something called mTOR, which has been associated with the cellular aging process. But again, there's simpler ways to control mTOR. It's called low-carb ketogenic diet, or something like Revero will be offering in the near future. And structuring your entire day and night to prioritizing anti-aging may be a bit counterproductive in other ways. In fact, enjoyment of life is also important. If you spend your whole day taking supplements and having a strict regimen so that you don't age, do you actually even live? That's an important question. Now, some of what he is documenting and sharing will probably be helpful to some people, like the importance of sleep and exercise. That's just good advice for anybody, really. And certainly he's probably healthier than the average American, no doubt about that. But sometimes, again, simpler methods to achieve the same age, maybe a carnivore ketogenic diet, can make these things a lot easier while still enjoying life. Now, it's amazing that someone on a mission to extend their life would choose a diet that requires 111 pills a day to supplement, instead of just eating whole foods like meat and fish, where you could probably offload many of those supplements. But to each their own. It's his money to spend, I guess, and at least he's sharing his data. If you'd like to learn more about how humans adapted to a meat-centric diet, please check out this video we did up here. Thanks for watching, everybody. What do you guys think about this guy, Brian Johnson? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you guys soon.